Google Gemini is fantastic. In fact, right now, it's probably my favorite AI chatbot, but that's despite the fact that it is missing this very simple but critical feature, which are folders. Right now, all of your chats just kind of live here, dumped, without any way to actually organize them besides just pinning a few of them. It's probably the number one complaint that people have against Gemini, because as advanced as it is and as amazing as it doesn't have this very simple feature that we all want and kind of need, which are folders. So I fixed that. This is Gemini Architect, the tool I created that fixes all of those little things that kind of bother us about Gemini. And of course, the biggest change is that I've added in these folders here on the left to organize all your different chats. As you can see here, on this account, I have 4 different folders. One for video research, one for AI tool research, one for Gemini use cases, and one for fitness. Now, if you have any chats you want to put into these, all you have to do is drag it and drop it into any of your folders. If I want to remove any of these, all I have to do is click on this little X icon, and that will then remove that chat from the folder. These are also fully collapsible, so if I click on any of them, it collapses it, and clicking on it again expands it so that you can kind of have it nice and neatly organized over here. Adding a new folder is also very easy. Next to where it says folders, there's this plus icon. I'll go ahead and click on this one. I'll call this one Home Repairs because I'm constantly doing repairs in my house, asking Gemini questions about it, so I can dump all those inside this folder. You can see it now appears right here, and there's an icon that's automatically assigned to it by default. Let me go ahead and change that. So what I'll do is I'll click on this icon. That will then open up this menu, and I can choose this one right here. So now if I ask it a question like, how do I fix a crack in my driveway? Get a good answer. I want to save it, make sure it doesn't get lost. I'll just go ahead now and drag that into Home Repairs so I can easily find it. And then if I'm chatting in another chat and I want to come back to it, all I have to do is click on it, and then it'll bring me right over to that chat. If you ever want to change the name of one of your folders, you can easily do that by clicking on the pencil icon next to it and just changing the name to whatever you want. And if you find yourself not using a folder as much as you want to, you can just delete it by clicking on this X icon. Know that when you delete this, it will first make sure that you're sure you want to delete it. Then once you do that, the folder is deleted. However, the chats that were inside of it still exist. You can find those by scrolling down here and actually looking for them. Now, speaking of scrolling and looking around for chats that are lost, I added this search bar right here, which filters out the chats based on the titles of them. There is, of course, a search bar up here, a search tool up here. However, I wanted one that was more conveniently located right here. So if I was looking for that chat about my driveway, I just type in driveway, it filters out all the other results and leaves me just with the chat about how to fix my driveway. I also added a little search bar up here so you can search not only the names of the folders, but also the chats within those folders. To clear those out, I'll just go ahead and delete everything in there, and that will then reset it and show you all the chats. Now, another really annoying thing about Gemini was just how difficult it was to delete a lot of chats. So if I just wanted to clean things up, I would come in here, click on these 3 dots, click on delete, go to the next one, click on the 3 dots, click on delete. But now I added this button right here. When you click on this, this adds a checkbox next to all of the chats. So I can go ahead and check some of these off. And then all I have to do is click on the bottom here where it says delete. It will say, are you sure? Go ahead and click delete again. And now both those chats are now deleted and cleaned up. This is all powered by a Chrome extension I created called Gemini Architect. You can see that up here on the top right. And I want to let you know that now you can actually purchase a subscription for this for the low cost of just $79 a month. And of course, I'm kidding. It's completely free. I'll have a link for this in the description down below where you can grab this. You'll land on this page, click on the blue button right here where you can add it, and then click on the puzzle icon and pin it so you can easily access it. But if you are enjoying using this and you're getting some value after actually trying it yourself, there is a little tip jar down here if you want to send me a little kickback, but that is totally optional. There are a few other things that this Chrome extension does, and here inside the actual pop-up for it as well. I want to show you that in a second, but before we go over that, let me tell you about how I made this Chrome extension, because I actually made it using Gemini, but I didn't do it inside the Gemini app. I made it in this tool called i10x, who's also the sponsor of today's video. i10x is an all-in-one platform that gives you access to every major AI model in one dashboard. You can see right here that when you start a new chat, you can chat with OpenAI models like GPT-5 Mini or 5.2, Google's models like Gemini 3 Pro or 2.5 Pro or 2.5 Flash. We have XAI's models like Grok, Claude, DeepSeek. So all the major models in one place. They also have image generation and video generation as well. But the reason I used this was because I wanted to start by using Gemini 3 Pro to actually build out most of this Chrome extension. And it did a really good job at it, but there were a couple of bugs that I just couldn't iron out using Gemini. So I switched over to Claude, one of the models by Anthropic, and it was able to fix all of those bugs for me. I then sent the code over to Grok just to take another look at it and get another set of eyes on it. And it was actually able to suggest some additional features that I didn't have in the original build that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. And that's precisely when I use i10x. When I want input from all these different models without having to switch tabs to jump between Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini, I can have everything in one place. And yes, i10x also has built-in folder support as well. The best part is this starts at just $8 a month if you go with annual billing, or $10 a month if you pay month to month. This does work on a credit system, but as you see right here on the basic plan, you get 5,000 uses of the basic model monthly, so that is plenty. But if you want unlimited usage, there is a plan for that as well, which gives you unlimited usage of not only the basic models, but the advanced models as well, all within a single workspace. So if you want to try out and use i10x for yourself, I'll have a link for it in the description down below. And thank you i10x for sponsoring this video. Now back to the Chrome extension, let's talk about some of the other features that I built into Gemini Architect. So when you click on the Chrome extension, this will pop up. At the top here, you can actually download your data. If I go ahead and click on that, that will download all of this information. So what your folders are and the chats inside those folders. This is a good way to back everything up if you're afraid of getting lost or if you need to switch browsers for some reason. Then to actually restore from backup, just click restore from file. You can then upload that file that you just downloaded and all your folders will appear here on the left. I also gave Gemini keyboard shortcuts. There are currently only 4 of them. I would like to add some more. I just don't know what I want those to be yet. So if you have a suggestion for that, please let me know. But right now you can create a keyboard shortcut to copy the last response, copy the entire conversation in the chat, toggle wide mode, which I haven't even shown you yet, and create a new chat. There are defaults for those, but by clicking on it, you can actually map any keyboard shortcut that you want. So you can customize these exactly the way that you want. If you end up using Gemini Architect and you notice any bugs with it or something that isn't working, please don't leave a bad review on the Chrome store. Instead, come into here, click on support and send me an email. Let me know what the issue is and I'll try to fix it. If you have any suggestions on how to improve Gemini Architect or there are any features that you want, leave those in the comment section under this video so other people can upvote it with a thumbs up. That way we can get a community census on what additional features people want. And of course, if you're feeling generous, click on the tip jar and you can leave me a little tip. And there are just a few more things that I added into Gemini Architect just to make Gemini just a little bit easier to use. So first of all, I alluded to this already, wide mode. So when you're using Gemini, you may have noticed that the chat is actually pretty narrow. There's all this margin on either side. Now, personally, I like that. I think it looks aesthetically very nice, but I know it bothers a lot of people that it isn't maximizing the screen space. So I added this button on the top right, which activates wide mode. And of course, if you collapse a menu, it's even wider to take advantage of all that real estate. And to toggle that off, you can just click it again. Now, next to that, I added a new chat button. So by clicking on that, that creates a new chat. I know that exists on the left already, but for some reason, just intuitively, I just always think that the new chat button is on the top right. And I just can't get used to the fact that it's on the left, no matter how much I use Gemini. So I just added a new chat button up there. Chat button. People make fun of me for not using my T's. So we have a new chat button up here on the top right. Okay, what else do we have here? So if we open up a chat that's a little bit longer, like this one, Gemini has always had this button right here that has allowed you to copy the response that you just received from Gemini. So clicking that button just copied this single response. So I added this button right here, this button that copies down the entire conversation, including all your prompts and all of Gemini's responses. And then finally, the last feature that I added is down here in the settings. Normally, down here, it will show your location based on your IP address. And this bothered a lot of people. I know for me personally, since I make videos about Gemini all the time, it just kind of feels a little bit weird that my location is just being broadcast out there to YouTube all the time. Not that it really matters too much, but I just didn't like that so much, so I hid that. Now it doesn't show your location down here anymore, so that's really helpful if you're like on a Zoom call or you need to record your screen for some reason. But that won't mess up any of the results you get with Gemini. Gemini still knows where you are. It just hides the actual text from the screen. So there you go. That's Gemini Architect, a simple little Chrome extension that hopefully solves a big, annoying problem. I'm sure in a couple months, this will be completely obsolete. Hopefully Gemini will release native folders themselves. But in the meantime, this extension solves that problem. If you want to get it yourself, again, it will be linked in the description down below. Then, if you want my complete course on how to master Google Gemini, well, it's also available for free. I have it on YouTube right here. So click right here. This is my complete Google Gemini course, and I'll see you over here in just 1 second. Bye for now.